Now that you've asked yourself the important questions you need to get started, it's now time to really look at your space to see if you and your space are ready to make it a rentable venue. Get your notepad and pencil and consider the following 8 points. Again, keep in mind this list is not exhaustive or exclusive, but more like a starting point to see if you can make your space work. Number 1, look at your space. What areas can you rent out? Think out of the box here. A space doesn't necessarily need to be enclosed to be rentable. What are simple and quick ways you can divide the space to maximize monetization in a way that will not get in the way of your use of the space? The more options you can come up with, the more potential for revenue. Number 2, is your space wheelchair accessible? This will affect your potential target demographic and how you will advertise the space. Number 3 is something people often neglect, but is super important. Are there washrooms or dressing rooms? Are there enough washrooms to accommodate the capacity of your space? For example, you can have a big space that can fit 100 people for events, but if you only have one toilet and sink, it may not be ideal. And most importantly, are your washrooms clean and hygienic? Bathrooms are like shoes. A bad bathroom can ruin the whole outfit. Number 4, is there space for storage for some renters? Storage is underrated but can be a deal breaker for some subtenants. For example, here at Kapisanan, we have subtenants who use the space for martial arts, which require these big floor mats. They need a space to store those so they're not having to haul it here when they practice 3 days a week. So we let them leave their mats here as long as they're neatly piled. Number 5, does your space have a kitchen or hospitality equipment? Sometimes potential renters want to have the option of having snacks or eating. Or if you have a great kitchen, you can rent the kitchen out for culinary workshops. Number 6, what other amenities would you be able to offer potential space renters? A PA system, tables, chairs, desks, Wi-Fi, use of office equipment like photocopier or printer? If you have all these amenities and you're willing to rent them out, you need to create rental policies around these separately from the space and attach rental fees to them. Number 7, be mindful of the law, like municipal building codes on capacity and emergency exits. Every space has maximum capacities. If you don't know it, ask your landlord. Make sure the area you're renting out follows fire code and has proper exits and visible signs. These are non-negotiable, as the organization would be liable should anything go wrong. Another thing you must be aware of is the noise levels of your potential renters. There are city bylaws on noise levels and they could be different depending on the zoning of your building. Is your space appropriate for loud activities? Talk to your landlord about this. And the last thing that you should look at is the location. Is your space visible from the street? Is the building near public transportation? What kind of parking is available in the area? As a rule here at Kapisanan, we let people know that we're not as visible from the street because we sublet our storefront. Now that you've looked at your space and everything looks good, take a look at the next video to see if you have the human resources to run the space and make it a successful earned revenue stream.